by the time the main events rolled around, and there's some pretty good grip out there.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that has to do with him keeping the roof closed during the day, so it didn't get that sun beating down on it. But it's still a very tricky, you know, soil here. We've seen a lot of guys make mistakes where it looked like they were fine, especially in that right-hander right there coming into the whoops.
Seeley has made up one spot. Oh, look at this. Good move here by Anderson. He gets around Baker. Seeley trying to get his teammate as well on the 34.
That looks like Tomac just on the backside of Seeley here.
Seeley trying to get around the outside. They get around Anderson. Seeley cuts inside now on the 34.
Hey, these tight turns right here, it's going to get a little dirty, guys. We've seen what can happen as you start to cut down to stay. You try to cut down out of the berm early to stay out of those ruts.
Baker on the 51, Anderson on the 44 in the black and yellow riding gear. Here comes Seeley on the 34. Almost a little bit of contact there. Tomac takes advantage on the 17. He comes up the inside and gains a position.
Yeah, I was thinking Eli Tomac was going to get a 4 for 1 there, but
watch this. He's got the drive over the triple.
And he'll have the inside lane. Seeley goes after Baker, just pushes him wide, and Baker goes out. And now Anderson going after Tomac. Oh, good battling here in the lights main event.
Yeah, Seeley didn't do anything wrong there. You know, he closed the door on him, it came in on him, and Baker
just almost made a mistake.
Baker just got a little, you know, gave him a little bit too much room.
And take a look at Tomac now, coming through the inside as you watch from the rafters here at Chase Field. Back down to ground level we go.
Tell you what, looking at the lap times, you got Wilson out front, has set a 52.6. Tomac a 52.9. Everybody else is a 53 or higher.
Wilson 2.3 seconds out in front of Musquin. There you see Dean said to us earlier, still not feeling that good. He's running awful good though. A third of the way through this main event. 5 laps completed.
Tell you what, you get that start, you make life easy on yourself. You know, some of the other fastest riders of the night, the favorites, stuck back in the back without the start that they needed, and look at the gap that he had. Musquin, about 2.5 seconds behind. Rattray, about 5 behind the leader.
There you see Marvin. We documented for you earlier how he had the big crash, broke his helmet, came back. Here he is looking at a good podium finish.
Hey, I'm telling you what, guys. Tomac and Seeley are going to make their way into the podium spots, and they're going to come like a freight train in the final laps here, just as Dean Wilson's body is going to be weakening from his illness.
Rattray was a second last week. Here he is running in third. There you see Osbourn. Osbourn was 9th last week in Anaheim, and he's inside the top 5 tonight.
He's doing pretty good. He's hanging in there, right on the rear of Rattray.
Oh, look at them having to bounce through the sand section. I used to love it when the sand section would develop, and it always gets that big kicker before the single. Is somebody before the night's over, is that kicker going to get big enough to jump over the single?
Anything
and then it's like a 2-second lap move there.
Yeah, it's possible.
Good looking Tomac.
These guys are moving right here.
He's in 6th right now, Ricky, and closing in on Seeley.
Yeah, he just turned the fastest lap of the race over anyone right now with a 52.5. That last lap, he's 9 seconds behind the leader, though. Yeah. That's a lot of time to make up at halfway. Hey,
and my key to the race there, that corner is so rutted and so jacked up that Tomac is not getting the drive to go triple. He's actually doubling out, so he's going 2-2-2, and he's losing a little bit of time through there.
Tomac 3rd a week ago at Angel Stadium.
Anderson, though, solid ride there on the Suzuki.
Here's Osbourn battling with Seeley, fighting over 4th. Seeley cutting inside.
Nice.
He's got the inside, getting into turn 1, but Osbourn hanging tough.
Can he get a better drive off? Not yet.
Now watch this turn. Look how rutted it is. And see, they're cutting so low that you just can't triple out of that turn. So just forget my key and move on to the next.
Oh, Seeley takes him wide, pushes Osbourn right up to the top blocks, and now Tomac is going to try to capitalize. He does. He's passed Osbourn as well.
And see what happens in that turn. If you lose the drive and you jump that in a different sequence, you really get off, and you have to get on that tabletop and power into the face of the triple. It is so much faster to do that.
Boy, Tomac is really coming on strong here in the closing stages.
I'm telling you, he's been confident all day long.
Finally over for fourth.
I'm impressed with Seeley right now. You know, he didn't get a good start. He's moving his way up through the guys, passing each one by one, bringing Tomac along with him. Not really what he wants to see, but Tomac wants his championship just as bad.
And don't forget, he struggled last year having two really good races in a row.
Yep.
Got that win at Dodger Stadium, and then 20th out early at Oakland the very next week. Here he is now inside the top 5.
Yeah.
This would be a good, strong run.
As fast as Tomac was in his heat race, I mean, Seeley, is keeping him honest.
Yeah, I tell you what, looking at the lap times, though, Wilson's last lap, 52.5, right on pace with the fastest lap of the night. So Wilson has finally found his groove, and he still holds 10-second lead over Seeley, about 7 over Rattray, 5 over Musquin. Good solid ride up front as this battle continues. To see Tomac looking over his shoulder there.
I think he was looking at the score tower. You know, they got a score tower with the top 5 riders on it. It's probably was looking to see who's leading.
How easy was it for you as a rider, Ricky, to be able to see that?
It depended on, some tracks were easy, some weren't. That one's kind of in a unique spot, you know, but those guys can look over in the air and check out the situation. Pretty cool.
Just under 6
to Supercross.
Yeah, getting close to the final third of this race. We're going to have just 5 laps remaining here. We'll see if Dean Wilson can hang on to his lead of 6.3 seconds over Marvin Musquin, or if that illness that he has is going to slow him down in the final stages of this one.
Tomac's really charging hard here. He's making a few mistakes on his way. He needs to tighten it up just a little bit to possibly get the run on Seeley, and it looks like now he's starting to motor up on the back tire of the Lucas Oil Honda bike. Let's see if he can find an inside line.
Back to the rafters we go. Tomac right there, almost dead even with him.
Wow.
And he switches to the outside line, now cuts back inside.
Goes for the jugular.
Oh, no, couldn't get it done.
See, he's going to lose just a little time there because you get on that tabletop, you just really carry the momentum into the triple. That's going to give Seeley a little bit of breathing room.
Yeah, he's got a big gap to make up again.
Boy, this wide shot here really gives you such a great perspective of where the field is and how they've spread out. And you see how quickly Tomac can make a mistake but still catch right up on the back of Seeley. He really has his number, just doesn't have the position.
Track position is so important when these guys' lap times are so close. I mean, they're all turning 52s here, except Musquin. I mean, he's the only guy in the 53 in the top 5, but that's where, you know, track position goes. He got out in front of these dudes early. There you go.
Dean Wilson, 6.2 seconds now in front of Marvin Musquin.
Hearing a crowd reaction here in the background as we're watching our leader, Dean Wilson. He's just on his own page out here. Got an early lead, set out front, and now he can just kind of pace himself. Look at that. Boom, he's on rails right now.
Gonna have 3 to go this time across the finish line jump.
When you're sick like this is the best feeling, you know, when you get an early lead, your competitors have a few issues, don't get that track position early and get up front early. The best thing you can do is just put out a hard charge at the beginning, then relax.
Yeah, you know, I remember last week, Dean Wilson was just pressured. He had arm pump and all that, but let's take a look at the Toyota replay here. And this is going to be Tomac. Watch the block pass here as he comes in on Seeley, leaves the door open. It's a little, well, the good thing is they're both trading red paint, right?
Yeah.
So it's,
I'm not sure he actually made contact with him, though. Looks like he came up just pretty close.
That was legit. That was legit pass.
Yeah, that was solid. And
well executed.
Seeley realized that, you know, he didn't want to drive the point home there because Tomac had that spot. But for Wilson, to get back to this, I mean, man, to win on a night when you're sick, and I mean, it's happened so many times, Ricky. It just seems like you get more focused. You just, you know, you cut out the distractions because you're not out there having a good time, signing autographs. all of that sort of stuff. You just get focused on this main event.
Yeah, what I think happens is you learn to race a little more efficiently, you know, and you learn where to, you know, get your breath of air. You learn what lines it take to don't make you tired, and it actually ends up playing to your favor, and you're actually faster. I think that's what happens sometimes.